Hello students, I hope you're doing well. Here's a video guide for the Mining Our Memories assignment. So we need to open the module, and there are two documents that I would like for you to review. The first one is an overview. It provides information as to the why. Often students say, why do I have to do this? Or why am I doing this assignment? And this answers that question. Okay, it provides a purpose to help you think creatively and become more fluent and confident in your writing voice. It lists the skills that you'll gain. And so we'll learn how to brainstorm and organize through free writing, to select one of these memories, to know which one memory to develop further, add sensory detail, structure a narrative, how to structure a story with a beginning, middle, end, to have lessons, to communicate clearly, to revise and edit, and to reflect on our own writing voice and ability. These skills align with these course objectives. And so this is what I'm supposed to be teaching. And some of the objectives that you're supposed to gain or skills, knowledge that you should gain. So these skills connect to critical thinking, communication, and personal responsibility. The overview also provides knowledge, like what will you actually learn or develop further. And so it provides you with information about that, how memory and emotion serve as tools for narrative writing, the role of detail and imagery, how to structure a narrative, and how to pace it and make it fluid. The audience, we need to know our audience so we can keep them in mind as we write and knowing what to share. Okay. And then it provides us with a task. We do a free writing, and then we draft, and then we revise. And here's like a little checklist. That's the first document I would like for you to look at. Again, it provides the why, and I just feel like that's important for you to understand. Now, the second document is the actual assignment, and so you'll scroll down. There's the overview, and here's the assignment. Click on the link. It'll ask you to make a copy, so make a copy of it. I'm not going to because I have 20 copies already. You need to make a copy. It'll load into your Google Drive. Make sure you're logged in so you can access it. Here's the assignment. It has check boxes that you can click on as you go through the process. In part one, free writing. So it tells you this is no pressure. You're just going to write for 10 minutes, 10 full minutes. Please set a timer so you can develop this as much as possible. And you start with I remember, and you will pick one memory and list every possible detail that you can think of about that memory. We are not writing incomplete sentences. We are listing. We don't even necessarily have to go in order. And just whatever memory, image, piece of dialogue, person pops in your mind, jot it down. And do this for 10 minutes. Now, if you're still listing ideas and you run out of ideas about one memory, then shift to a second memory and repeat the process. And I started this earlier for an example, so I'm going to shift to my document here. Here's mine. Okay, exact same as you. It's what you have, but mine's an example. I started with I remember, and I wrote Peru. This was like one of my favorite trips with my family. We had the most adventures during this trip. And so I just wrote Peru, and I kind of started not at the beginning, in the middle when we're going to up the mountain because we planned on climbing Machu Picchu. And I just listed altitude sickness, pulling over the side of the road. My granddaughter's throwing up. My son is throwing up. It's dark, middle of the night. And you can read all these details. I just kept listing details until 10 minutes ran out. Okay, now To be honest, this is a partial example. I did not write for 10 minutes. I probably wrote for 5 minutes. And so you should have double what I have here. When I ran out of ideas for Peru, I shifted to Iceland. It was another beautiful trip and just started listing the details again. Okay. You may have one memory with a ton of details or two memories with a bunch of details. It just depends. Once I have my brainstorming done, I've written for 10 minutes, I'm going to pick one of these memories that I don't mind sharing and write a draft. And it explains this is a beautiful narrative structure. When you start reading professional writers, you'll see this is the narrative structure they use. Where are you? What are you doing? What's the first event? What happens next? What happens then? What happens finally? What do you think or learn? And I started a draft for you as well. Now, again, mine is a partial draft. Yours should be 500 words because you're going to post yours in a discussion board. Okay, now mine is not 500 words. Mine is 283, so mine's halfway done. But I wanted you to see the revision process, and so I just wrote half a draft. And really, we're still like climbing up the mountain or driving up the mountain in this part. We haven't even shifted to step 3. Where are you? What are you doing? It's the middle of the night. My family and I are driving up a mountain in Peru. What's the first thing that happens? Rami's driving fast, and both he and Asia start to feel nauseous. And then they start vomiting. Joy. Okay. I'm just here. I would keep going until I finish my narrative and I reach 500 words. Now, once I have my narrative all done, I'm going to do some revision and editing. This is important. Check. Okay. You have to revise and edit. And here's how. It says before beginning the revision process, change editing mode to suggesting mode. That's right here. This pencil says editing mode. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to go to suggesting. You're suggesting. Use Control F and find to be verbs. Was, were, am, is, are, be, being, been. These are telling verbs and we want to show. And so I'm going to do this first step. Here's my narrative, my partial narrative. Control F, and I'm going to look for was. I don't have any. I tell my story in present tense. Were, don't have any in the narrative. I'm just looking here where my story is. Okay, I have 3 is's, 3 examples in the first 3 sentences. So that's not really good writing. And so I'm going to get rid of it. And here's how. I can substitute with a stronger verb. I can rewrite the sentence. I can rearrange the sentence. I can turn a noun into a verb. Instead of she was the leader, she led. Or I can combine sentences. And so usually I end up doing rearranging, combining, and rewriting. So here we are. It is the middle of the night. My family are driving up a mountain. The road is narrow and curvy, and Rami is driving fast as usual. I have these 3. So I'm in suggesting mode. Yes. I'm going to go here. On a dark, lonely night, my family and I are driving this. Oops, that's a to be verb. The road is narrow and curvy. Rami is driving fast on this winding, narrow road. I'm getting rid of curvy. I don't like it. Comma. Rami is driving, so this is easy to fix. I say races through the darkness. It was so dark. And both he and Asya began to feel nausea setting in. So I got rid of the 3 that I had. The directions say edit out half of these. I edited out 3 of the is verbs. I'm going to look for are since I write in present tense. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me start revising these. Drive up a mountain. Our cabins are quiet, clean. So that's easy to fix. Quiet, clean cabins. Okay. Provide a perfect space. Okay. You will do this. I'm stopping for the sake of time. You will do this for each of these requirements. The next step is to find always or never, every or none. These are absolute phrases and they're rarely true. They weaken your writing. We just get rid of them, delete them. Then we'll look for vague language, which is thing and any of its compounds, something, nothing, anything, everything. And so you will put those in the search and see if you have them. I don't, because I know not to. Okay, and then I'm going to look for thing. And again, I don't have it in my writing portion. Clothing, that doesn't count. All right. So I've done all this. Check. Now it says change share permissions so that anyone with a link is a commenter. I'm turning my draft in and it should look just like this. When you submit it, when I open it, I want to see the draft and I want to see the revision and I want to see what you did. So don't make any changes. What you do is you go to share. Anyone with the link, it'll say restricted when you open it. You need to change it so it says that anyone with the link is a commenter. If you don't have commenter, I won't see the comments on the side. You copy the link and then you go here to this form and submit it. You fill out the form, your name, the course name, the assignment name, what you call it, your written response, the Peruvian adventure, whatever I want to call it, and then my link, and I turn it in. Okay, so I've done that. Next step, I'm going to download it as a Word document and submit it into eCampus. So I go to File, Download, Word. I will turn that into eCampus where it says assignment. Okay, and then the final step is to take what I've written and paste it in a discussion board, and I will make another video for that since this is not loading.